Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you a lot for coming back this time. This week we're going to be talking about being at the right appropriate or being at the right environment. Being in the right environment, appropriate environment, being at the right environment. And if you like to know more about being in the right environment, please stay tuned for the rest of the video. This week I just thought I've seen a lot happening and this thing kept on coming back to me, and it always goes back to, are you at the right environment? Are you at the right environment? What I'm talking about is where you are as an analyst. Is it the right place to be as an analyst? I'm going to be taking two key learnings from it, and then from those two little short stories or learnings, we're going to continue with our deduction. The first one is, if you go into the online community right now, everybody else is talking about how to become an analyst, either with no education or how to train yourself to be an analyst. It is very a wonderful thing and I encourage it. The whole notion behind education started in environment like right here in South Africa, when the apartheid regime went down and we had this whole disparity where one part of the population was well off and then the other one was extremely poor. The whole issue between the two became, how do we bridge the gap? The issue was, sending money to this side is not gonna happen because they're all gonna blow it. The best way is to educate these people who are extremely poor into the services that were the privileged few used to have. So education became the center stage. I know there was a huge debate with other people saying, why should I get educated while I'm already old? You know, stuff like that. But the whole issue behind educating people became to they don't know and they always know to come into play. So what does online environment do? They come in answering the gap that existed, not between the rich and the poor anymore, but maybe indirectly between the rich and the poor, between those that were able to go to universities and those that could not go to universities, whether it be financial situations or be, you had horrible marks because in school you were supposed to do all these other 8 subjects or 12 subjects and you could only, master 1 or 2, maybe computers were one of your one. Then if you can master computers, maybe you can become a good analyst. You don't need biology and all geography and all of those things. So for those people that had what it takes, the right attitude, online education came right their way. With a little bit of this, little bit of that, you can actually teach yourself how to become an analyst, of which it's beautiful. It's the right content for those people, not for everybody else. I mean, if you still don't have the right attitude behind it, you might still struggle in getting into an analyst. So that's where the market comes in. But there's a but leading us into the second section of the story. It becomes a problem if, say for instance, this underprivileged nation or underprivileged few teaches themselves, but it all stays that way. The only way to illustrate it is just behind where we stay. There's a tennis court, or now it's the multi-purpose court because it's both the tennis court and a hockey pitch together. So because of the hockey poles and stuff like that, you would get people playing soccer a little bit there. For me, as far as I'm concerned, I'm sitting in my lounge looking at them. They know how to play soccer. For me, if you can run around for a few minutes chasing a ball and you can kick it and somebody can scream and say goal, that's soccer to me. From where I'm sitting, they know how to play soccer. But the only thing else that I realized about that is there are no soccer scouts there. I mean, I'm talking about people that are still in their high school age. They got the full kit. They're energetic. They are the right weight. They're not overweight like me. They're the right skinny weight. They weigh 50 something. They don't weigh 70, 80 like me. No, they're the right weight to become professional soccer ball. And they're doing what professional soccer players are doing. They are playing and chasing the ball the whole day, which is exactly what should be there. But one thought came into my mind as I was sitting in the lounge looking at them playing, and I thought to myself, the fact that they are playing in the wrong environment might be difficult for them to be discovered in that environment by a professional soccer player scout. One of my neighbors, he had moved out now. He used to be a professional scout, professional soccer scout. I don't know what you call them. Those people that go where people play soccer and then they say, you, I'll manage you. Those type of people, yeah. He used to be one of those, but he has moved out. I think he moved back to the UK. But besides him, having a balcony that goes into, a patio that goes into the same field, there's nobody else who's actively there with the book to say, you. But here's the funny part. We are here. This is where the guys are playing soccer. The thing is a river over here. Just across the river, okay, there's no road or anything. Just across the river, there's another place that is dedicated for people that want to be discovered. I think they call it the Academy, something Academy. I can't remember which club. No, I don't think it belongs to any club. It's an academy. It sits right there. The guys are playing here for recreational purposes. The same activity being played over here, which is less than, it's even half a kilometer away. If the guys over here scream and they say, kick the ball, kick, I can still hear them. The same, more or less same way as those guys that are playing for recreational purposes here. Kick the ball, kick. Same to me. The only difference is that these ones are doing it for recreational purposes. These ones are doing it for professional purposes. Well, with the chance to be professional. And that hit me. And that really, really hit me. It got me to a point where I thought, isn't it the same with us, where we're working? Isn't it the same that if you can get the right advice telling you to say, whoa, hang on a second. What you're doing is recreational. Doesn't matter how good you become, it will always remain recreational. But if you can move it to another point, it can start to be a career. Because you knowing how to switch on and switch off the computer does not make you a professional computer person. You can say in your own way, oh, I do everything else that they do. But yeah, you are playing in a recreational side, not in a professional side. Believe in me, the pitches looks the same. The ball size looks the same. The kit looks the same. It's just a different place to say, this one is in the residential area. This one is in the commercial area. That's all that it means. How do you now know that you are playing in the right field to become an analyst? Become the big question. With that, there's 3 things that I wanted us to discuss in this video after that bit of a story. First one is going to university still looks like is the best bet if you want to become an analyst. I know in a few, could be months, could be years, or maybe 1 or 2 years, it might not be relevant at the time. But going to universities is the best way to show people that you don't just know the tool, but you know the behavior that is normally needed for you to become an analyst. That is very, very important. Going to university, it just shows you that. It just doesn't teach you about the software, but it teaches you about all the other attitude and behaviors and habits that are required for you to become an analyst, like thinking outside of your area. So if, say for instance, I'm an analyst that makes use of SQL, I might be asked to do managerial stuff that hits me on the other side to say, oh, is this how people think? Then I can bring the thinking into my, even if in university they normally they hardly ever teaches you the software itself, but rather they teaches you the importance of having, so for instance, relational databases. To say a relational database is the one that takes manager name, positions and whatever and puts them together using a special key type of a thing. It doesn't really matter what software you're going to be using to do that. So university teaches you the why of things behind. The software, you can choose whichever software that you want. That's my number one goal. Why the need for, you going to universities might be, a surety that says, maybe I'm playing in the right field. I know there's problems to that. I'll come back to it. The second one is doing online things on your own. So doing online things on your own, as I spoke to it, the only problem with that is Unlike playing in the field with your friends in the residential complex, one of the guy in one of the online things said, guys, you must always go out and find training about SaaS and Google certificates and data analytics stuff. But what most of you guys are doing is, because he identified where their flaw is. The flaw is with the training material, they give you data that is going to behave the way that they want the curriculum to go. Like, so for instance, they will never give you a data that will never open. They'll never give you data that's got special characters that is going to take you the whole week trying to figure out how to get rid of special characters. They're not going to give you data that is not relatable. They just take one table, another one, take out the link between, and then they ask you to make an activity where you put the link between. The two data sets are already prepared. So for his argument was saying, go out, go find data, make it link yourself, and then that way you would know that you know how to apply the thinking. That is very, very notable. I'll put his link to this video up here. That is very, very notable. But the only problem with me is doing that. It's not you playing with your friends in a residential estate facility. It is now you playing soccer alone. You take a ball, you kick it. Maybe in the office here, I keep on kicking the ball in the office. I do all the swinging, shibobo, you call it. And then I come around and I say, I am better than Messi or Ronaldo. I'm better than all of them combined. I'm the king. I should win the World Cup. Nobody has ever seen you. But apparently you'd be the very, very, very good person on your own, playing around with your own data. Nobody knows about it. Nobody has ever asked you to do that data. That's where the problem comes in, But it is a good way for you to apply your learning, especially seeing that the universities sometimes can give you data that does not click, so that you can struggle with it, because they don't normally prepare the data for you. They just give you the steps on what to look out for, what's data, and then they say, go find the data. So you go find the data, so you can bring erroneous data, and then they help you clean it up. That's why there's professors there and, tutors and whatever. That's why you pay all that extra for somebody else to sit there and help you clean it up. While with the online one, nobody is there for us after sales. They're not going to help you to clean it up, but they're thinking that you will have the ability to source other online communities that will help you clean it up. So they are hoping that you will have the ability to stop playing soccer alone in the room, in the office, and then go find friends and play soccer with the friends. The two are wonderful. Universities, online education on your own. The problem with them is nobody has ever asked you. Nobody at all has ever asked you. The third one, which is my personal favorite, is getting somebody with a problem first. Before you start learning about database, before you start learning how to switch on the computer, get somebody with a problem first, and then go solve that problem. And you solving the problem, you will be learning about the problem. You going out there and then find somebody who is looking for somebody to help. They might be doing door-to-door sales, selling, loans, or signing up people for multi-level marketing. If you say, ain't you looking for somebody else that can allow people, develop something that people can capture onto their phone, and then it goes up all the way up to your central Excel workbook, make up things that you haven't done as yet. That becomes your first client. At least whatever you are doing it towards experience, not just recreational. So in that way, you have the universities, where I call it the professional scouting space, where you are playing soccer, but you're playing it in the right place. And all of these people that are playing here, they're hoping a company will come in and say, I need you, I'll hire you. Playing on the recreational residential estate facilities, definitely you know that nobody's gonna come scout you, but you're doing it for fun. You know, you'll get a six-pack, some sweat come out, and I'm healthy, you know, and then put it on Instagram, and everybody else will like it. But you know, nobody's coming for you. But what rather I'm asking for is to go find a person first who's got a problem and then bring it back. The nice thing about being in Africa is there's a lot of people with problems. Believe in me. If you can ask one person with a problem and that person successfully says, yes, I have a problem, you'll find out that person has got more digitally related problems that you can solve that are so overwhelming it will even blow your mind out. Some time ago we went to a person and I was thinking about a small solution about digitalizing a small portion that is still undigital at a moment, only to speak to these people to realize, whoa, there's a bigger issue. Yes, they have websites, but they don't have the processes that goes into it. And these people were happy to go in until, you know, it becomes conflict of interest. Then I decided, you know what, let me stop that. I took the second one at a local church. I just thought, you know what, I'm just gonna be a cameraman and that's it. Only to realize, whoa, there's actually much more that is needed here. Even today, they still need the capabilities of analyzing how their YouTube channel is doing, how their online Facebook is doing. All of those capabilities, they still need somebody else to bring all of those things together, do proper growth analysis so that they can start to put the targets towards it. That's one thing that I realized. It is so easy to find somebody with a problem. It might be difficult to find somebody with a problem that's going to overpay your rate. That is very difficult. That's what we all wish we could have. Somebody who will say, you know what, I got 100 million for this problem that normally costs 20,000. Can you come solve it for me? Obviously, that's not always the case, but everybody's got a problem. Believe in me, as I'm sitting right here, I'm getting people left, right, and center having requests. Other people, it can be as simple as sending out a Google form to say, I'm trying to set up a thing. It's Women's Month in South Africa. August is Women's Month. I got Women's Month. I need young girls to have an online platform where they can register. In my head, I'm thinking, but you can use either Google Forms or Microsoft Forms, but the person does not know about the thing. It might take me 20 minutes to set up, and you put it online, you send a QR code that goes into it, you send it to people, they're busy capturing, they're like, wow, what a great thing that you have done for me. But it takes me probably less than a minute to extract that information, create a pivot, send it to them to say, this is the update, and I can still go on with my life. There is never short of people with problems. And those problems will definitely allow you the opportunity to learn about the technology. A few months ago, I was not on social media at all. The fact that I wanted to help people with problems in social media, and I was assigned to social media, created the need for me to know about social media, which created the platform for this channel. I would have never thought about that. Look at that. Me and you are able to exchange ideas. You're able to comment below, and I'm able to talk to you just because I started asking somebody else, what did you want me to help you with? And they said, oh, can you help me set up this YouTube channel? Can you help me set up a poster? Can you put a poster on the upcoming event? That's simple. And then we just started it. And then here we are. 3 things that comes in. Playing in where you know that you'll be discovered, that will be universities. I highly recommend that because you always know that you are not just, you have a safety net. Playing where you go for your own pace, which is online education, Google certificate. I think it's called, right now they have Google Skills for Africa, and Microsoft had more or less the same thing. I highly recommend it if you are doing it for personal development. So for instance, if you're struggling with something else, like I always struggle with stuff at work, if you're struggling with something at work and you want quick answer, I totally agree for that. I went for SPSS training the other day on LinkedIn Learning. Before you know it, I was operating SPSS like a pro. Does it make me an SPSS specialist? No, I'm not gonna put it anywhere. Not even in my resume. Nowhere. The only place where I put SPSS, it's on my dissertation to say, yes, I use SPSS to do the data. That's all. It doesn't make me a SPSS specialist. The one that I totally recommend at all costs, find a person who's got a problem, go solve that person's problem, find learnings while you're solving the person's problem. Whether there's money attached to it or there's no money attached to it, it is not a big decision for me, as long as you found a person who's got a problem and you are solving that problem. Thank you guys. Next video, let's talk about volunteering versus non-volunteering. My advice towards volunteerism, whether you are volunteering or you are dealing with volunteers. That's what we'll be talking about in the next channel. Thanks guys for joining in. Cheers.